Okay, so I'm just gonna say it. Captain Marvel's better than Wonder Woman 1984. There, I said it. I'm done. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel once again. I am Robert Storms. As always, if you're finding me for the very first time, please be sure to click that like, click that subscribe button, leave a comment. If you're new to the channel, subscribing definitely helps, helps push that channel to the next level. So guys, Wonder Woman 1984 came out this past week on Christmas Day, and it was trash. It was straight trash. But I digress. Some people, I think there's like 5% of the world out there that actually like the movie, reading through some of my comments. I've seen a few people actually like the movie. The majority of people, I like to call those the same people, know that the movie sucks balls. But that's okay. Movies are subjective. If you like it, that's your opinion. My opinion, movie's trash. But you know what's not an opinion? Do you know what is fact? The fact that Captain Marvel is better than Wonder Woman 1984. That is a fact. Because if we look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, Wonder Woman 1984 gets a 65% on the Rotten Tomato meter. Let's look at Captain Marvel, shall we? Boom, 79% on the Rotten Tomato meter. Now, I know a lot of people are automatically going to go to the audience score of both. Like, look at the audience score of this compared to the audience score of that. Well, let's not forget, also, when this happened, there was also 98,000 people that reviewed Captain Marvel. Only 1,000, so it had like 8,000 more people. And don't forget, that was the time where a lot of people were review bombing the movie because they didn't like Brie Larson. So I never pay attention to the audience score. I always pay attention to the critic score. 65% here. Captain Marvel got a 79%. So, look, say what you want about Captain Marvel. And again, this is all very, very subjective. Yes, the facts are that that's what Rotten Tomato rated. But still, even those are coming from reviews that are of subjective reviews and opinions from people. I know a lot of people don't like to count Rotten Tomatoes, which those people, I don't understand if they even know what Rotten Tomatoes is. Just because a movie has a high score doesn't mean that it's the best movie of all time. And just because it has a low score doesn't mean it's the worst movie of all time. It's rather just counting the people who say yay or nay. But in this case, Wonder Woman 1984 I thought was a huge letdown. The tones were completely different than the first movie. There was no impactful moment in that movie where I can look at it and be like, man, that sent me chills down my back. When she got up in the first movie and she walked down No Man's Land, she's just bouncing bullets and taking out the enemy soldiers, and Chris Pine leads his men. Like, that was an emotional moment. The part where, like, Chris Pine was about to sacrifice himself, emotional moment. Yeah, we kind of have a repeat of that scene in Wonder Woman 1984, but it was really, really jarring and weird, and it was just reliving the same thing. Wonder Woman 1984 was a huge letdown. It felt like a giant cheese fest. It was placed in 1984, which nothing in this movie said it had to be in the 80s. You could take out, if I would show this movie to somebody and updated the outfits from the 80s to modern day, you wouldn't know a difference because there was nothing about it that said it had to be set in the 80s. It didn't. When X-Men does their little time jumps in different decades, they base the story around those decades, like the Cold War and stuff like that. Nothing in this felt like it had to be in the 80s. Maxwell Lord, a lot of people are saying that Pedro Pascal was one of their favorite parts. I thought he was god-awful. He was cheesy. He was over the top. He was awful. That is not the way, sir. Not the way. Say what you want about Captain Marvel. At least the movie stayed consistent through the entire story. And the acting was good. The story was fine for what it was. Is Captain Marvel the greatest? No, hell no. I still think the first Wonder Woman is better than Captain Marvel. But if I'm comparing Captain Marvel to Wonder Woman 1984, I don't know if Patty Jenkins just got drunk on set or what. But it felt like a complete opposite of any. And the writers on this movie. I wasn't a big fan of. I just wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest with you. From everywhere from the writers, I think maybe Patty Jenkins did the best she could, but she's also credited as one of the writers on the movie, along with Jeff Johns and some other guy who's writing Mortal Kombat. So Jesus Christ, I'm worried about that. But so Captain Marvel, in my opinion, is far better than Wonder Woman 1984. Just big letdown. So much of this movie didn't make sense. It didn't pay off. They were changing rules as they went, and just it's a cluster. It's a cluster. If theaters were going and we weren't in COVID, I still don't see this movie making $1 billion because it would have a huge drop off from week 1 to week 2. Because I saw the first Wonder Woman 3 times in theaters. This one, I honestly don't care to see it again. It was like, I seen it, it's like, boom, done. I would not have went and saw this movie again in theaters. It's just that much of a letdown. But anyway, guys, I want to know what you guys think. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion. Later, guys.